There is the pride of Long Island, tough guy who's fought twice through suffering a broken jaw. Comparable measurements until you tally up the CompuBox numbers and you see the Power Punch Connect percentage, where Alvarez is nearly at 40%. Light heavyweight average is 37.2. Joe Smith Jr.'s at 26.4. But keep in mind what Smith has in those gloves. Explosive power. And now here comes Eleider Alvarez. A chance to win back his belt, the vacant WBO title. What the game plan is, what strategy to employ to come up with a win tonight against Joe Smith. He said you beat Smith by boxing him. Right hand from Alvarez behind the jab.
Stop. Here we go.
See, the one thing that happened right there was Smith Jr. just sat right there at mid-range and didn't fire any punches. He didn't throw any jab or anything. And so what did Alvarez do? He lined him up for the jab and the right hand over the top.
Smith Jr. trying to get around the guard of Alvarez.
See, and that right there is what Smith needs to do. He needs to be physical in the inside and rough up Alvarez and make it very uncomfortable for him.
Yeah, Smith can be physical, but he better realize that Alvarez is throwing punches back, because the sequence that I just saw a few seconds ago on the ropes, Joe Smith had no regard that Eleider Alvarez was going to throw anything back. And in this first round, in this fight, Alvarez looks alert and he's letting his hands go. Joe doesn't want to walk into a right hand.
I was just going to say that, Dre, the right hand of Smith is deadly and the right hand of Alvarez is deadly. So when these guys throw their right hand, both these guys need to make sure that they keep their head off the line or get their head off to the line. And the way you do that is when you throw your right hand, you want to lean your head to the left to avoid the right hand coming from your opponent.
At the end of this round, in fact, we will remind everybody just how capable Alvarez is with that right hand. Joe Smith Jr. looking for one of his own.
Stop.
You can hear that thud from the Long Island native.
Stop.
Joe Smith coming out to meet him on the other side of the ring. Applying pressure, short right hand, trying to get around.
Joe, you want Eleider Alvarez to remain who he is. He's got a temperament like a cobra. He's a guy who lays in the grass, he lays in the weight, and then all of a sudden he'll explode with that right hand. His right hand has a mind of its own. But all I'm asking for from Eleider is just more energy, and we've been seeing that so far in this fight. Just a guy who's alert, and he's getting combinations off, still being his normal self, but not just letting a guy pile up points and beat on him in hopes that he'll land a big shot late in the fight.
Well, right now, Smith Jr. is standing right in front, landing his combinations, which is good, but the fact that he just stands there and admires his work afterward, guess what? That's going to give Alvarez a chance to land something coming back for counters.
Stop.
You're going to see a lot of holding and grabbing from Alvarez, especially in the inside, because he likes to have his distance. He likes to be out in range and extend with those arms. A lot of head hunting from Smith, not a lot of body shots coming from him.
Stop.
Good work right now from Joe Smith Jr.
A lot of that stuff is being blocked, Tess. You know, like, ooh, that's the right hand right there. Wow. Nice clean right hand landed by Alvarez.
But his eyes are always on the target, and he's always looking for a shot. Keep an eye on that.
Like right there, as soon as that threshold was crossed.
And Tess, what did he do? What did Alvarez do? Because he has the amateur experience, he got his head off the line when he threw that right hand. Put all of his weight behind that right hand.
Smith Jr. letting them fly here.
That's what I was going to say is that, you know, those right hands that Alvarez is trying to set up like that right there. You know, Smith needs to be careful. I mean, Smith has gotten his jaw broken not once, but twice in fights. It can happen again, Tess. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about Smith Jr. is he has really good balance. You know, he doesn't never seem like he's off balance to me. He's always in good position to land his power shots.
He's a very strong, solid guy.
Stop.
He's relied on power throughout his career. You can constantly hear Capobianco ask him to double up that jab. Everything, the point of emphasis he's charging him with constantly from the corner is dealing with the jab.
See Joe Smith just being Joe Smith, volume, pressing the issue, not really concerned about any punches coming back from Alvarez. He's going to live or die with that style. And we see Alvarez being who he is, very economical, looking for the one big shot, trying to snipe Smith with a shot that can shock him and possibly knock him out. The question is whose style and whose temperament is going to win out tonight. Well, I hope Alvarez knows that in order to back up Joe Smith, he's got to go through some fire. I mean, Joe Smith is not just going to allow him to back him up without any resistance. So just understand that if you're Eleider Alvarez. But again, I don't think that's Alvarez's temperament. He wants to lay back, he wants to watch, he wants to look and hope that he can catch Joe Smith slipping and land a big shot over the top. Fighter to fighter, I mean, I was a guy who wanted to win every second of every round. I wasn't okay with guys landing 4 and 5 shots on me in a combination, but Alvarez, he's just okay with just sitting back and trusting and believing that he's gonna land the big shot.
And he got to drop some buns in the oven, man. He needs to go downstairs. And I'm talking about Alvarez. That's how you slow down a pressure fighter. That's one way to slow him down. Drop some down to the oven. There you go. And you're going to see how Smith Jr. reacts.
Did you say buns in the oven, Timmy?
Put some buns down there, man.
You can see some blood coming from the nose of Eleider Alvarez.
When you're in that ring and that blood starts dripping down, you tend to want to blow your nose. Don't do that. Your eyes will swell up. You just got to let it drip out.
Short left hand at the end of 4. Let's show you what happened. Smith Jr. looking for that right uppercut.
And Joe, I've heard stories of fighters who have literally woken up in the ring and felt like they won, and their corner saying, listen, man, you got knocked out. And they're in disbelief. I never wanted to be a part of that. I never wanted my family to have to go through that, and thank God it never happened. But Dylan White's got some rebuilding to do, not physically, but psychologically.
There's that chopping right hand from Alvarez. You can hear Capobianco saying, don't walk straight in, Joey. So he just stepped right to Alvarez that time.
Now you see Alvarez being a little bit more intentional. You see the blood right there. That's what happens when you let a decent puncher, a strong puncher, like Joe Smith hit you like that. Alvarez will have moments where he wakes up. He better wake up and get going because he's 36, and if he loses this fight, he may not get another shot.
See these offensive waves from Smith Jr. There was a right hand between punches from Alvarez while Smith was on the attack. Good stuff here in round 5 between these two.
He's hurt right now. He's hurt right now. Just the sheer strength and just the work rate of Smith is causing
Oh, there's a left hand that sweeps in.
Ooh.
And now a right hand gets around the corner. Look at the thudding blows from Joe Smith Jr. as he's on the attack here in round 5. Uppercut reigns in as he backs up Alvarez. Blood continues to pour in that 5th round.
Stop, stop.
Alvarez can't continue to take those type of punches, those big shots coming from Smith. Well, this fight's not going to continue. Those some big shots that landed in the back end of that last round.
302 punches thrown by Smith Jr. to just 191 for the more economical Alvarez.
That's the thing, Tess. You can get busy. You can get busy on a counterpuncher. That's what Smith is doing.
Stop.
But the plus for Smith is he has heavy hands. That's the plus. Not only does he have volume, but he also has punching power you have to deal with.
Same thing can happen to Smith.
Well, you know what I say, Dre. If you're on your back and you can look up, that means you can get up.
Stop.
At this moment, the only way that I see Alvarez winning this fight is getting lucky with a shot. Smith is going to continue to come forward and press forward. He believes tonight, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I should say.
Stop, stop.
Alvarez looking to time that left hand.
In the words of the late Nazim Richardson, the great trainer out of Philadelphia.
Stop, stop.
Son, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, in that first fight, he was cut in the 6th round. Kovalev was ahead on all the scorecards, and then the power surge came in the 7th round when he scored the 3 knockdowns.
Good luck with that. Smith Jr., to me, is not going anywhere.
Come on.
Alvarez shoulder to shoulder with him now.
Come on, let's go.
See that blood continuing as well as swelling around that nose. He's been taking a step back and taking deep breaths. There's a right hand from Alvarez.
Oh, there it is.
Right hand from Alvarez here with a minute to go in the 7th round. Little buckle of the legs of Joe Smith. Looking forward again, trying to time that right hand. That happens when you get
complacent. That happens when you get complacent, Tess. When you have success and then you get comfortable and then you leave yourself wide open for a right hand like that.
And then look at what Joe Smith does to respond.
Stop, stop.
I think the only reason why that happened is because Joe Smith took his foot off the gas.
Yep.
He wanted to rest, and Alvarez felt like he could throw that kind of shot, and that's why it landed. But when Joe Smith is being Joe Smith, when he's letting his hands go, Alvarez wants no part of it.
Can see the power from Smith. Just mauling him here again at the end of the 7th. And now letting his hands go. Nice. So a nice way to respond after the right hand from Alvarez. I mean, he's coming out.
Well, if he continues to fight like this, Tess, if he continues to fight like this, he's going to get knocked out.
Another right hand from Smith Jr.
He's going to get knocked off anyway.
That's that.
I think the Martians on Mars seen that, all that grease.
Stop.
Let me tell you that, man. That was a lot of grease, man. Anyhow.
Long Island's Joe Smith Jr. trying to close in on a world championship. This a title eliminator.
Alvarez is sitting on another right hand. He's waiting. He's waiting on Smith Jr. to throw a jab from a little bit too close. He's trying to dial it in.
Stop.
Squared up, and he threw the right hand.
You know what I like? What I like with Smith, when he changes the speed up with his combinations, I like that. He has a lot of success when he changes the speed up. Instead of just 1, 2, 1-2 when he puts them in combinations in a quicker sequence.
Stop, stop.
Very good night to this point for Joe Smith Jr. In addition to the total punches that we showed you and that advantage he had, when it comes to power punches, Smith Jr. has a 122-51 power punch connect advantage. There's a right lead, and then he sends him through the ropes to start round 9.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Alvarez has to make his way back through the ropes, and this fight is over. Joe Smith Jr. raised that hand.
To get that second shot, just a beautiful shot. I mean, Joe Smith has been chopping at the tree all night long. That was probably the straightest, clearest shot that he threw to the chin of Alvarez right there. Didn't load up, he just let it go. And because Alvarez is sitting right in front of Joe Smith and hasn't really posed much of an offensive, problem for Smith, Smith felt like he could throw that kind of shot. And then later, he's been taking punishment all night. That shot may not have knocked Alvarez out in the first round or the first couple rounds, but when you beat on a tree, you hit it in that sweet spot, right at that moment, then the tree falls down, and that tree is Eleider Alvarez.
You said it, Dre. Straight right, as straight as right hand he threw all night long. Yes, he did. He disguised that right hand with that jab. Disguised it, came straight down the middle. Eleider Alvarez never saw that punch coming. That's why it hurt him, ladies and gentlemen. But at the same time, it was a jab beforehand. Both guys came to the center of the ring at the start of that round, and both guys landed a solid jab. And I saw the reaction from Eleider. He bagged up.
Declaring your winner by technical knockout, Joe the Beast Smith Jr.
He landed 135 punches